Hey there, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. Today I have a video that was a request from a subscriber, Alberto Lanza. This is one of your requests. Thank you so much for asking for all of these because they are really exercises we teach all the time, and it's good to know which version of the exercise is appropriate for which kinds of people, including ourselves. So today we're going to look at how to progress someone on the reformer doing the teaser exercise. What to do if they can't just lie down on the long box and roll up and down just because they can. How to build themselves into it on the reformer. And then we'll talk about other places in the studio where we're also working to better their teaser and working on different versions of it to help what they're doing on the reformer. So I'm just going to get the reformer all set up. I have a Balanced Body Contrology reformer, and I'm going to start at the foot bar. The foot bar, by the time we get to the teaser, will be down. I'm going to put it on one spring in the middle, and I'm going to get the long box. That's very important. Okay, and I think I'm just going to get on the other side of the reformer so I can face you. So the very first way to work on the reformer on the long box, the person that you want to have do the reformer on the long box this should not be the first teaser that they do. They probably have been doing the teaser on the mat, on the Cadillac for sure, and now they've been doing their reformer workout, their backstroke is super strong, and they're going to start learning the teaser on the long box. And let's say that this is someone who we need this whole progression for because it's challenging for them in various other places, and so we're going to build it in just one step at a time. And this is, let's say, the most elaborate place to do the teaser because you have handles and straps, your carriage is moving as you move your arms, so it's got a lot of opportunity to be disorienting. So this is much more challenging than just alone on the mat or on the Cadillac where you have the push-through bar that's kind of assisting you to come up. Now your assistance is assistance, but you'll see when we get into the exercise, by the time you get your arms up and the straps up, the straps and the weight of the spring are pretty much trying to drag you downward and backward. So the straps are assisting you, but there's a lot that's fighting you as well. Okay, now that you're really excited to do the exercise, I've made it seem so attractive, let's look at the first thing you might do. You might want to introduce the person to the fact that the carriage is going to move first before they roll up and discover that, oh my God, I'm on the top of a cliff and I might fall off. So I'm going to take my handles, and this version of the teaser starts sitting up. And we are preparing for the full teaser, so you still want to make sure that they're sitting in a place that's relatively where they're going to sit for the exercise when they do the full exercise. So I kind of feel like you're on the front sort of third of the box, shall we say. You're not really on the edge like the backstroke, but you're not far back. And the first thing you can build in is kind of based on everything that they already know what to do. So they're first just going to balance as though they were in there rolling like a ball. Because you want to make sure that their center is working to the degree that their legs aren't heavy and they're using all their muscles efficiently so that they can get up and down. And if you're used to doing the full teaser and this is new, these progressions are new to you, they'll be just as hard as the normal exercise. So at the same time, you're going to pull your stomach in and you're going to lift your bottom, your waistline, so that your bottom is really working to push the springs and put you a little bit in a place that's a bit uncomfortable. And then once they get into position, they're just going to keep themselves together as the arms lower and the carriage comes in. And then once the carriage closes, they're going to put their feet down and rest. So that's step one. They'll do that 3 times. I'm just going to do it one more time. So I'm like rolling like a ball. I'm pressing my heels together, and then I'm lifting my bottom and my waistline and making that lift push the straps. And this might be pretty stretchy for them. And now they're not going to fall apart when the arms go down, and then they'll rest their legs. So when that is super easy and they can do it 3 times, no problem, then you'll add that they stay out there and they move their arms a little bit more while the carriage moves back and forth. So let's just look at that. In other news, is it hot in here? Okay, so lift the bottom. Use your bottom and your lift to push those handles. And then they're going to try to keep their lift and the arms reach down. And then they're going to keep their lift and it's going to go back. And then finally, they'll finish like the first version that they did. So then they're doing pretty much the real teaser exercise, but they're doing just the sitting up part. So then when that gets better, and they can do that with control 3 times, then you can add the rolling down so that they are learning how to use the straps to roll down. They've already kind of figured out how to use them to help themselves stay balanced, or balanced despite the straps with them. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So they do and now they leave their straps there and they lift themselves away from their straps and they unfold themselves. And then maybe you're there so that you can help them to get back up if that's not something that they can do right away. So you went from just balancing to doing the full part of them sitting up and doing the actual exercise, but just the sitting up part. Now you're adding the rolling down part so they can kind of get used to the carriage moving as they go down and up, or yes, down. And so the last thing then you can add is them figuring out how to use the straps on the way up. And usually moving the carriage while they're in the exercise and rolling down gives them a lot of information about how they're going to use them to come up. So now let's look at that. And for someone that they're doing everything well and now you're going to work on the coming up, you might want to sort of sneak that in so that they're going to do their exercise the normal way. And then once they roll down, you'll just say, okay, now just roll up to get for the next one. So you kind of downplay what can sometimes be the most difficult and angst-ridden part of the exercise, which is rolling up from lying on the box. Okay, so here we go for the final step before starting lying down. And then they're just going to lift their bottom and their waistline and take themselves up in the teaser. And then they'll repeat. And then maybe they'll finish lying down after 3, and then they'll step off. And then once they can do all of those parts, then you can say, now since you can roll up, you'll start lying down, you'll roll up and do your exercise 3 times, you'll roll down and finish. So in the meanwhile, you're still working with them to better their teaser exercise with all the various teaser exercises we have on the mat. The Cadillac is also helping them to get a little assistance and figure out how to roll up and down. So we have lots of places in the studio to work on progressing in teaser in general. And I hope that you found that helpful to talk about how to progress someone doing the reformer version of the teaser. Thank you so much for watching. If you have other questions about each of the steps in progression that I mentioned or other things that maybe I didn't mention, do leave me a question or a comment below. And thank you so much for watching. I really enjoy your comments and your insights, and the requests are fantastic because there's always an exercise that I'm like, oh yes, that thing, of course. we need to talk about that for forever. So thanks again for watching. I will see you again next time.